In this Multiversus video, we're going to go over the best perks for Bugs Bunny in Multiversus. Now you can see that we're in the main menu here in Multiversus. I'm going to move over to the glossary here. You can even see a notification that reads, "You've got new perks to train." You're going to understand this in a moment when I take you through the best perks for Bugs Bunny. If I select Collection, this will give you all of the characters you currently have unlocked in the game. And you can see Bugs Bunny is here. Now I've been using Bugs Bunny, which is the reason why he's at level 10, but we're going to go through the perks. So here we are on the Train Perks main menu. You can see what level you are with the character. At this current moment in time, I'm on tier 11, but because I also have another built-in perk when I've upgraded my Bugs Bunny and played with my Bugs Bunny to this stage, you will also have the ability to use the perks that other characters on your team have in their glossary. This gives you a better understanding of what perks will work with Bugs Bunny that you can train. So we're going to select the Train Perk section here. We're going to go into the Offensive, Defensive, and Utility perks. Now these are three different categories of perks that you can equip to your character. Now in this case, Bugs Bunny at this level has known perks. Now his known perks are the perks that you have already unlocked for Bugs Bunny, and if you've reached level 10 or your lower level, you are most likely going to have these perks here. So let's first go through that to show you what perks you should have available at a lower level Bugs Bunny when you're getting started with Bugs Bunny in Multiversus. So in the offensive section here, you have Collateral Damage. Your team deals 1 additional damage when knocked back enemies collide with a wall or a floor. So when you've knocked back an enemy and they go flying, if they hit a wall or a floor, they will have 1 more additional damage as opposed to just bouncing off the wall and not taking any damage. Here we have defense. There are no defensive perks currently at this stage with Bugs Bunny. On the utility, which is your speed and ability based perks, you have the Speed Force Assist, which is brilliant with Bugs Bunny, and we'll get into why in a moment. And you have the Coffeezilla. Now the Coffeezilla is one of those lower level perks that you can unlock for most characters. Now in this section next to the known perks, you have unlocked perks from other characters. If you're using other characters in Multiversus, you will unlock perks for those characters, and those can also be used for a cost. For example, the I dodge, you dodge, we dodge is a perk for LeBron James, but I can also purchase this perk for Bugs Bunny. For example, if I select it here, I have the option to train the perk, and that trained perk will then be available for Bugs Bunny. I'm going to do this now to just give you a better understanding of how this works. So I had enough gold to be able to purchase that perk for Bugs Bunny, which I've trained, and now Bugs Bunny can use the I dodge, you dodge, we dodge. Let's not forget about the signature perks. The signature perks are those big perks that you can equip with your character. There are 3 lower level perks, which are utility, defense, and offensive based, and there are 3 slots for those. And there are also the signature perks, which are the large perks here. For example, Lingering Love. I'm going to select this to show you what other signature perks Bugs Bunny has available. Bugs Bunny has the Coming Through Dark, let me say it in character, Coming Through Dark. After leaving an existing tunnel, Bugs Bunny and his allies receive a shockwave that damages nearby enemies. And we have the Lingering Love. Bugs' kiss leaves behind a floating heart. Enemies who run into it will be charmed, but the charmed duration is significantly reduced. So there is a kiss attack that Bugs Bunny uses, and the charmed status is added to that character, the enemy that runs into that heart. If you're using this signature perk here, that heart will be left in that place where you've used it so that players can accidentally run into it, or it can be basically a mind attack, like something that you've placed there that will be lingering in the air for a moment for them to run into. The charmed status leaves your enemy in a frozen state. They can't move. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't move. I'm charmed by this person, or I'm charmed by this character, and they cannot move. And that is what that signature perk does. Just wanted to go through that before we go through the best perks to use with Bugs Bunny. As well as the signature perks and those lower level perks that you can equip with Bugs Bunny, you also have those perks that you are yet to unlock when you're leveling up Bugs Bunny. Of course, you have the second Wind Beneath Your Wings available, as well as the Sturdy Dodger. Now, as Bugs Bunny is a mage, he has a lot of projectiles, and you can see that in his move list here. There are many projectile specials, for example, the Special Delivery Rocket, the Safe Investment, and there are a lot more projectiles that he uses, for example, the Pie Barrage, which is extremely useful as the Pie Barrage can slow an enemy. Now, this is great, and I want you to take this into consideration when we're picking the best perks for Bugs Bunny, because there are a lot of projectile attacks, and they are very helpful. So in the offensive section, I would say there are a few perks for Bugs Bunny that I would say are the best perks to use with Bugs Bunny. We have the Make It Rain Dog. Now the Make It Rain Dog gives you a 20% increase of projectile speed. This is brilliant. This is probably the #1 perk to use with Bugs Bunny. It was originally for the LeBron James build, but of course you can train this. I'm going to do this now. 100%. I'm going to be using this with Bugs Bunny to give me a quicker release of my projectiles. There are two others which are basically sort of like a flavour into your projectiles when you're using Bugs Bunny. Now the Deadshot perk gives you a 5% increase of damage with all projectiles that you're using. Of course, this is also stackable as well. It's a stackable perk. You can have a 10% increase if your ally also selects this perk. This is not the #1 perk to be using in this section, but it's definitely worthwhile having a look at. Another one that's 100% definitely worth having a look at, which is the #2 spot for the best perk to be using with Bugs Bunny in the offensive section, is the That's Flammable Doc. Now for 3 seconds after knocking back an enemy with a projectile, your team can melee attack that enemy to ignite them for 1 second. Now ignition is flames and it's igniting them in flames. That's definitely a good perk to be using with Bugs Bunny. Not the #1, but it's definitely well worth having a look at. And I'm going to train this right now as it's another perk that I would use with Bugs Bunny. Of course, instead of being flammable, you can actually apply some ice damage as well, which is available in, if we have a look around here, your team's projectiles deal 1 stack of ice if they knock enemies back. Ice Beat You is the name of the perk. Now, I'm not going to train this one at the moment, but it's another one to consider in this section here for Bugs Bunny as you use a lot of projectiles. Not the best one, but those are my recommendations in this section. Now that we've gone through the offensive section, let's go for the defense and see if there are any perks that are the best perks to use for Bugs Bunny in that section. Now, Bugs Bunny is a very static character when you're using his standing combos. His standing combos keep you glued in a position as opposed to being able to move forward or push forward when you're using that combo attack. Although that combo is very powerful, you can be planted in that position and it can leave you open if you miss. Now, if you're up against another Bugs Bunny and you're struggling with taking damage from projectiles, or maybe you're up against another character that uses a lot of projectiles, I would say use the School Me Once. Your team receives projectile block buff for 2 seconds after being knocked back by a projectile. Now, Bugs Bunny's projectiles can knock you back often, so that is the reason why I would say this is one to consider. Definitely not the best one to be using in this position with Bugs Bunny, as Bugs Bunny can be static and you don't want to be hit with projectiles and then using that as a crutch, because it will stop you from wanting to dodge. If that makes sense, it will sort of slow you in the movement that you need with Bugs Bunny to get out of that static position and leaving yourself open. It will sort of make you lazy if you're using this very often with Bugs Bunny. But the 2 top perks that I would select in this section would be Boundless Energy. Boundless Energy, your team receives 10% faster dodge invulnerability recharge, and if it's stacked, if your teammate uses it when you're playing teams, you will have a 20% faster recharge if your ally uses this, of course. And then there is another Slippery Customer. Your team receives 10% longer dodge invulnerability window and 15% if an ally uses this. In this section, another interesting section, Trigonometry is definitely one of the top perks to be using with Bugs Bunny. Here's why. His rocket, his main special air ability, knockback, is powerful, and when you're using the Tasmanian Trigonometry on top of that knockback with that rocket, I would say that's definitely one of the top perks to be using with Bugs Bunny in this section here. If you want to play extremely aggressive, Retaliation Ready will definitely be one, because it grants your team 3 grey health for 3 seconds after knocking back an enemy with projectiles. As I said, Bugs uses a lot of projectiles, and if you want to play extremely aggressive with Bugs, Retaliation Ready will definitely be one for you. But with a defensive perk equipped, I would say the Speed Force Assist would be the #1 perk to be using with Bugs Bunny, as when you're stuck In a planted position, you will need to move quickly, and if you have a defense already, maybe slippery customer, then Speed Force Assist will help you get out of the way of that person who's trying to attack you when you're planted in that position. So Speed Force Assist is definitely one of the #1 perks to be using with Bugs Bunny at this stage in Multiversus. Now that we've covered those lower level perks, now let's talk about those signature perks with Bugs Bunny. If we're in the signature perk section here, I would say using Lingering Love is the #1 perk to be using, because that kiss attack again is very planted and puts you in one position. Now using it once with this Lingering Love perk attached to it means that it stays there and you can move off. You will be able to utilize that a lot more. Yes, it's a little bit debuffed when you're using this perk, but it makes that attack more worthwhile and you don't have to think as hard as you do when you're using it without this perk equipped. So Lingering Love makes that attack worthwhile because it leaves that heart there. You can basically use that attack as a mine that attacks your enemies and they can run into it accidentally. Well worth equipping this perk here. The other perk was coming through Doc, but out of these two perks here, Lingering Love will definitely be the signature perk that I recommend as one of the best perks to use with Bugs Bunny. Now that we've gone over the best perks to use with Bugs Bunny, let's get into a game and let's show you how this is done. Ready to jump in? Let's go and get them. Oops, hold on. Selecting teams. Using our guy Bugs. Let's go, Bugs.
Easy does it, old sport.
Servers are nice and full, so it doesn't take long to matchmake.
Let's get started.
Let's use those projectiles.
Yeah, let's whomp them up.
One.
Lift off. Coming through. Here we go. Got the bunny. Special delivery.
Oh, hello. So what I mean by that combo, it keeps you static for a while.
Watch your head.
You'll get a kick out of this one.
Full force. Just gotta think of lady.
No.
Firing. Special delivery.
Oh, no way. Nice.
Coming through.
See you later.
I've got a better idea this time. Clear the way. Careful.
Oh, that was nice.
All aboard.
There you go. No way you was getting away from that.
I'll give you that one. Coming through.
Was he just dodging, standing still? It looked like it. Get off. Gotta throw my pie. I haven't been using my pie. Let's use it. Pie coming up.
Of course you realize this means war.
Hold on, just get out, Matt. You got it. Leave me alone a bit. So I can use the pie, thank you.
Watch your head.
Hold on, we're having a little bit of a tiff here.
Just breathe.
No, that's not it. There it is.
Point for blue.
Okay, let's try again.
Uh-oh.
Wow, that was dark.
Getting close. There he goes.
Reggie got the bunny.
Come here. There he goes.
And we have a winner!
That Taz trigonometry right there.
Jake,
Even though that wasn't a projectile I used at the end.
to being great adventurers.
Continue?
3 knockouts. Maybe they want to continue? Yes? I think 1 declined, which is absolutely fine. Let's toast our players.
Fresh!
Thank you for playing. Alright guys, so that is my recommendations for the best perks to be using with Bugs Bunny in Multiversus. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. You can also comment below this video here on YouTube. I have a lot more Multiversus here, including Multiverse tutorials and a lot more. Check those out. You should see some of that on screen right now. You've been tuning into the Anthony Allen YouTube channel. Let people know what I'm doing here on YouTube with Multiversus. Thank you for watching, and remember, you are awesome.